Welcome back to the shack, everybody. It is time to go dungeon diving. I have completed all the challenges on my main file for Link's Awakening. So let's talk to Dampé. And let's see, so adventure. Adventure allows us to play the dungeons we've made. As you can see, things are a little bit different. I've goofed around a bit more. Very similar build for Passageway Central. Oh yeah, you think you hate stair decisions. You will hate one of the challenges coming up. So here is our dungeon, Forging a Sword, the very first one. We have 1, 2, 5, 6. So we have 12. I've done 11 of them, I still need to do the very last one. So let's cruise on through Forging a Sword. We have quite a few chests to get. Most of them are themed and some do have restrictions. So there's just a little timer test to see how quickly we can get through them all. And I'm already rushing a little bit. And straight off we have a fight with Master Stalfos, so let's set those bombs. And down he goes. Let's get moving. So I have a chest to pick up over here. We'll be able to get a bit of money out of this as well, and of course we do need to open another chest in here. I probably should have made a few more dead ends that didn't have anything, in all fairness. So yeah, we just got to go up here, then we can move over to this part. Not a bad shot. Grab a couple of bombs to top us up. Go through here. Not sure if I need the crystal switch for anything. But there we are, another key. Most of these are meant to be very big and very complicated. You will get 300 rupees for beating each of Dampé's challenges. These special ones, anyway. Yep, stairs are here. They've respawned very quickly. And down we go. And we're back to a passage from Face Shrine. Somehow I got out of the way of that, and up we go. Little bit of money. Up here, and we just have a run to get those chests around the place. I think we have more stairs. You know what? I should probably go... I thought the magic powder got it then. blasted magic powder. I'm almost tempted to go back and get the red clothes from the colour dungeon. Which I think I'll do after this because we're not too far away from it. Oh, just fell short. Once again, you get to witness my inability to jump properly. I don't know what it is, I've just been terrible with it throughout the adventure. Right, so this way is our stairway. So that's a stairway from all the way back in Tail Cave. And let's see, this room. Ah, crap. I think I just added a lot of dead ends because Master Stalfos was conveniently available. That was not the best decision. But he's dead now, and we'll go over to the door. Yep, so let's head up here and get whatever's in the chests. Thank you. And we got it. 5 rupees. So quickly head back to the stairs and on we go. And we just avoid getting scorched. And that time, handling lava a lot better. These are going to be a real hodgepodge. I think I might have got a bit fed up after a while. We get one crappy rupee. And up we go. So our boss is over there. Let's set our boomerang to deal with Via. And we need to go over here. We do need to go both ways. ₹50, about time. Might as well save up a bit. Not sure how much money I have on this file. Sometimes I think I've just added in boss fights because I don't really have anything else. Thankfully, sword beams do damage that giant tub of goo. Don't need the fairy. Up we go, and we have tiles. Which I can once again choose to tank with my face if I so wish. Oh, great. I put another Master Stalfos in here. Mostly just complaining because it takes up time, and I am trying to get these done as quickly as possible. I will probably wind up keeping about 4 to an episode. And down goes Master Stalfos once again. And there's our key. At least I didn't miss any. But yeah, this is pretty much just a case of they're not overly difficult. They're just arduous. Oh, the fairy's still flying around in there. And our boss is Moldorm. And our boss is dead. So, forging a sword is now clear. Crafting a shield. We have only 5 hearts. So you might notice I probably made it a little bit more complex than it needed to be, but half the dungeon doesn't have to be done. I like shortcuts like that. So, if we kept ourselves alive with 3 hearts, we can do it with 5. Lift and throw into the hole. This time I'm actually not bothering to stand on them because that was stupid. At least it looked funny. And yep, so around and down. Let's quickly shut down as many of these as we can. Beautifully done. And you might remember this as being the boss key room from the Color Dungeon. It gets us another key. So I'll need to set my magic rod. And away we go. We don't have to do pretty much any of that, as you can see. We just have to go this way and maneuver this gadget. I think gadget is a good term for it, but it sort of looks like a compressor you use. I'm not exactly sure what the right descriptive term for it. Let's say you've got a whole lot of gravel in and you're trying to compact it for, say, making a driveway or something like that. It's a little compactor like that. And whiz robes. Can the magic rod damage them? Yes, it can. But not very much. We have plenty of bombs and arrows. So I'm gonna make the most of it. Of course, I can't afford to be too reckless because if I do something stupid, I might wind up taking more damage than I want to. Blue clothes, very handy for this, so I'm not getting the red ones just yet. Yeah, Vi's too smart for that, sadly. Oh. Well, that actually worked. Right, and so yeah, 2 chests over this way. To get that arm mimic, we will need to jump like that. Now, I don't think this room appeared in Key Cavern. There are certain custom rooms that will pop up in the Dungeon Maker. Okay, the sword beam actually damaged it. One rupee again, yay. Probably the most pernickety element of these dungeons is trying to make sure you know where everything goes. I have to head straight up from here to get another chest. Always welcome. I don't think I've ever been able to jump that stupid ball. Oh, right in the eye. That's got to be painful. Put that there. And there we go. Much better, 50 rupees. Get running for a little bit. Dispatch one enemy and head up this way. Alrighty, so one chest in here. And of course it breaks right underneath me. And we took him down. At least, on the bright side, it's not as bad. It almost is as bad as the quicksand in Triforce Heroes. You can't stand on that for any length of time. You will fall off. Well, not fall off, I mean fall in. You can't even just do a basic sword swing and you will just plummet to your demise. There's a fairy fountain over there in this particular build, but we don't need to worry about that. It was one of the mechanics I really didn't like about Triforce Heroes, that irritating sort of elements of artificial difficulty at times. It just wasn't fun. It's the only, apart from the Tingle games, it's probably the only Zelda title I genuinely disavow. I had a really, really miserable time playing it, and I definitely wouldn't recommend it to anyone else. Alright, Dodongo snakes, we know the procedure. Except somehow it didn't eat that one. Watch it turn. They're not that stupid, I guess. Quick jump out of the way, and wait for them to become vulnerable again. It's maybe a little hard to take them seriously when the sound they make upon bursting just makes them sound like a balloon that's being popped. Can't imagine it would be very pleasant swallowing bombs. And over here to another chest. More money, that's a bit more like it. And we've got the one around there to go, which I unfortunately made a little bit complex, but what can you do? Are you coming out of there? And yeah, not that difficult. And we've got the boss key room from Turtle Rock. I should say Nightmare Key, really. But force of habit. And around, and there we go. We have one more key that is actually close to where the boss is. That's going to be the boss key for this. Not a bad haul of rupees, all things considered. And over we go. I think I might have put Moldorm in as the boss, I'm not sure. Basically, if you're getting fed up with things and want a boss to go down pretty quickly, Moldorm. Oh no. We had Slime Eye. Okay, that is annoying when that happens. And stretch. Yep, so you can't take them out in one spin attack. But there we go. That's a new record. Bows over swords. We cannot use our sword again. Took a little longer than I'd like, so let's see if we can set a record on this one. It was kind of long and unnecessarily complicated. Please lift it up, Link. And there we go. The swordless ones are probably the most annoying. At least you get all your equipment. I think what I did wrong in this was that I couldn't quite work out exactly how to position myself in order to hit a switch. Because I sort of cut myself off with it. Okay. Right, so we need to go... Okay, so it just went through to the previous room? Righto. Now we need to go up here, because there's nothing to worry about in the room down there. Or maybe it's another set of stairs. It is actually also worth noting, in these games, 3 of a kinds actually cycle through a bit slower than they did on the Game Boy. I apologise for only telling you that just now. So, yeah. There's nothing of interest down there. We just have to go... Whoops! Don't have the Roc's feather! Okay, better set our magic rod. So to see that it looks really, really odd having Link dash without his sword. Alright, so we need to go... Which way should I go first? I think it was on this upper path that I had trouble. Two for the price of one. This room, yeah. Well, that blew that up. Almost. Yeah, I really didn't think it through making this one, so... Am I... You've just got to fire an arrow in the right spot, and that stumped me for a while. And we're back to these guys again. Keep moving. Couldn't even stay still. They take a lot of arrows to take down, so... Oh, for heaven's sake! This floor is really, really sensitive. That'll do the trick. So yeah, I've probably mentioned it before, but I really, really do not like Triforce Heroes. One of the major issues I have is that it can't work out whether it wants to take itself seriously or be a parody, because it feels like it should be ripe for parodying. The shallow and vacuous nature of the fashion industry is a big target. But there's also the problem that the game is still essentially expecting you to take this incredibly ridiculous plot really seriously. It's pretty much everything is governed by fashion. And it's a clever idea to actually have some of those little ideas happen, like the different outfits. They are fairly well designed, and you can give the game credit for actually letting Link dress in women's outfits and have them be really useful. Does the boomerang take out those? But it still seems kind of ridiculous that it's just such a bizarre concept to have for a game. Wait. How did I get a fair... I didn't know that. Sorry, I'm just trying to gather my thoughts on Triforce Heroes and why I really don't like it, and then I'm just discovering something new. Yeah, basically, it's partly expecting you to take its plot seriously, while also being, at the same time, almost a parody. It just doesn't seem like it should be serious enough. Yet it's desperately trying to behave very much like a Zelda game as well. On top of that, you've actually got the issue that some levels seem better designed for having 3 human players, while other levels are very clearly better designed for being played with one person. It's the problem with the bonus fight against the Dark Links as well. With 3 people, it can be a nightmare of coordination. But if you're on your own, you can actually cheese the fight. You can get the bomb outfit, you can bait the Dark Links, and then switch back to one of your existing links, or, well, I mean one of the doppels. Sorry, not forming my thoughts very well there. And basically, you bait them, switch to a different doppel after dropping a bomb at your feet, and you can make them take damage. They fall for it each and every time. Oh dear. This might take a while. Why did I put Gomez in here? And I'm facing the wrong way on top of that. Thankfully, you can rapid fire arrows. Yeah, honestly, I think it has a really poor plot and a stupid concept that should be a parody, but it still is attempting to take itself way too seriously, given how important fashion is to the everyday life of NPCs. It doesn't really play very well. The challenges are incredibly... The Drablands challenges are incredibly gimmicky and annoying, and it can't often make up its mind as to whether it wants to be for 1 person or 3 people. And you can only play with 1 or 3, you can't play with 2. And I mean, let's be honest, Nintendo does have some pretty stupid plots at sometimes. A lot of people find it very annoying that Shigeru Miyamoto has a habit of meddling in stories and making them simpler. Unnecessarily simpler, I would feel. But this is basically the entire plot of Triforce Heroes is a princess who's obsessed with fashion opened a gift that was vibrating, and now she's in a lot of trouble. I mean, let's be honest. Teenage girls might wind up being very interested in a gift that's vibrating, but I don't think it was the smartest idea. It even looks blatantly suspicious in the opening cutscene, so you have to wonder how stupid she is. I mean, we all know that Princess Peach is not exactly the most intelligent in some portrayals, which is kind of sad because she's a pretty capable woman. She's just reduced to a complete idiot at times. Styla's move was particularly dumb. Why did she get cursed by the witch? Because the old hag was really, really spiteful about her looking good or something like that. I don't know, I kind of forget. I mean, admittedly it is kind of a nasty curse being stuck in a drab brown bodysuit that you can't take off, because what happens if you need to go to the lavatory? You're in a bit of strife there. That is pretty much it, and you wind up fighting a villain who... Well, let's imagine somebody's grandmother dressed up in an outfit for a woman 30 years older. I mean, 30 years younger, sorry. Tight dress, big hat, ridiculous sunglasses that look like they came from Dame Edna Everage, a parasol, and for some inexplicable reason, an Elizabethan ruff. It's basically your grandma... I don't know, almost... I can't describe the look, really. It's just terrible, and she has... I still can't jump. She has the gall to lecture the Lynx on their fashion sense, and that tunic has been pretty consistent for years. It's a classic. And in fairness, the game does expect you to wear a whole lot of ridiculous outfits for the sake of getting various stat bonuses, and because that's pretty much how any RPG goes. Where's the key? There's one up here. And we're going to need the magic powder. That one's entirely on me. I thought I'd got it, but I hadn't. Basically, it just feels like a whole lot of really, really stupid design choices put together in a package that makes you ask way too many questions, doesn't give you satisfactory answers, and is just, in general, a real bother to play. Oh no. And I mean, speaking of stupid design choices, I've obviously made some pretty ridiculous ones going through all this. Oh good, I can snipe him from across the room. Well, that made things a bit easier. So we've finally managed to navigate through this daft dungeon. And there's a Hinox. I wish I had the old boom. Thankfully, Hinoxes go down very quickly. But yeah, I really didn't like Triforce Heroes. The strange part was, Four Swords Adventures, which isn't always fantastic, actually managed to make the multiplayer work with 1 to 4 players. Now, honestly, it cost you a lot of money to actually get the game and play it with 3 friends, but you could play it with 1 person, you could play it with 2 people, you could play with 3. I've played the game and it's pretty solid in its own right. It's not fantastic, doesn't set the world on fire as such, but it is very solid. It's a consistent and enjoyable game, even if Zelda unfortunately does reach some serious stupidity in the last level, just so you can have that rematch with Ganon. He was admittedly tacked on because somebody decided, no, Ganon's the bad guy now. So in all honesty, that one's a bit daft, but if I'm being honest, the game still plays pretty well and does have some good moments. I can definitely say I enjoyed it, and that's the most important thing. But yeah, I just honestly despised Triforce Heroes. I couldn't stomach completing it. I tried my best, but I just could not. And it's pretty rare for that to happen, in all fairness. I'll give most things a try. But I honestly just hated this one. And I didn't get to unlock the door in time. Facade is our boss. Have we got bombs? We need bombs. That's right, I can't shut down those tiles very easily because I don't have my sword. These ones might actually do a bit of damage. No, those still aren't. Oh, there are... He will disappear if you are too close underfoot when he spawns. But of course, the fact he can deal contact damage is a bit of an advantage for him. Nonetheless, he's dead, and that one is really annoying. But there's more frustrating to come. At least I set a new record. Admittedly, a lot of the time I got stuck was entirely due to getting confused on that switch. Okay, so how did I go about this one? This one was also needlessly complicated. Right. Oh well, let's wrap up this particular episode by charging on through this one. So, we need to go this way. All our kit has recovered. Let's quickly move through. It is so nice having my sword back. not much beats the ability to stand in one spot and swing your sword like a madman in the 2D games. You can damage enemies fairly quickly. And we've got Smasher again. I think the reason I have so many mini-bosses is because after a while you run out of rooms. You do get some bonus ones that will actually allow you to fight the bosses. Yeah, so if you stay in the one spot when he throws the ball, usually you wind up getting hit. If you dodge, you can't pick it up fast enough. And you wind up getting hurt for your troubles. Come back here, I will corner you. Of course, it went absolutely nowhere. Oh, come on, I got that. So yeah, obviously, I guess talking about Triforce Heroes tends to leave me frustrated. I hate it that much. So we need to go up here and defeat the Three of a Kind. Oh, the rupee gets pushed to the side. So we've got a key. It's mostly the size of these dungeons that's the problem. And all the arduous little fights. Really don't like it when Link falls off the edge. He makes some incredibly annoying noises. So it looks like we're going to the stairs here. And somehow I ran into a wall. This passageway again. Those things are a pain in the backside to avoid, and you can't really do anything about them. How does it manage to know exactly where I'm going? At least this one's easy to deal with. And of course, there is a big issue that sometimes certain rooms don't actually have keys in them. They don't have chests in them, which is a real pain in the backside. Certain connecting rooms do not have a lot of chests available, which can make building a dungeon a bit of a problem. Eventually, you do get to the point where you have to use a lot of mini-boss rooms. And sometimes certain bonus rooms that contain bosses. So I have to work all the way up here to get this. Okay, anything over that way? Yes, I have to run all the way out there for a chest. Why did I put that there? I think after a while I obviously did decide to... Wait a minute. Oh, I have to go up. That one's on me. Gomez again. At least I've got my sword, so let's set the hook shot. Why can't you just actually... There. Press the wrong button. What the... Well, that was odd. Come on, cooperate. It's always the way, the intelligent behaviour is the most annoying one because it doesn't expose their weak spot. Come back here. Bait those, and we finally get a chest. We had to go all that way for a single rupee. This mode sucks sometimes. So, nothing more to grab around here. I think we just have to finagle our way up and through the dungeon. Avoid fights where we can. But if we get hassled, take him out. Righto. So we can't shoot him from afar with arrows like we did before. But we might be able to outmaneuver him with jumps. Which way is he coming from? Oh, you jerk. Ah, well. Took care of him anyway. So, after this, I am actually going to go and get the red clothes. And there's a Hinox. It's another thing I don't like in this game. The sword beams fire on a real delay. In most games, they do tend to fire as soon as you can swing the sword button. So, where are we going? Up and along. Bait and through. This is one of the rooms in Turtle Rock we didn't go to. Nothing really important about it. Oh, and I put a rematch with Facade in here. So yes, as you can see, sometimes in certain rooms you can have rematches with bosses. These are some of the custom rooms you'll find in the various chambers Danpei gives you and the chamber stones. Exactly how Facade can't see the bombs being put on his face is a big question. There are very few corridor rooms running horizontally. So that's probably why I had to have Facade as an opponent. So I don't think I have to go back for anything. We can unlock the door. Probably can use the mirror shield there. Purple rupee. Much better reward, and we've got one last chest to go just before the boss. Push that, and away we go. Might set a new record too. So I apologise for these dragging out a little bit. I probably made them needlessly complex, but I also didn't want to take too many shortcuts. I put this guy as the boss, just great. We have to go through stupid text again. So yeah, you can imagine exactly how much of a nightmare it is trying to put these... That was a really, really terrible pun under the circumstances. And accidental. You can imagine how bothersome it is actually trying to put all these together. Well, we're almost done with him. And there he goes. It's a new record too. So, I think that wraps things up for now. Not too bad a run. But what I'm going to do now is head back to the Color Dungeon. We'll make a quick run into the graveyard once everything finishes loading. I'm putting on the red clothes. Fortunately, we are pretty close by. Just have to get that one, then head down here and just past this rock. On we go into the graveyard, keeping watch for any zombies that pop up. Thankfully none did, and the Color Dungeon is right here. Thank you. So, over we go. Let's talk to the Great Fairy. We are going to get the powerful red mail. We can go back to our green tunic. So, with this, we will dish out more damage, and I think it's only fair. And we will be warped outside. So that wraps things up here. We'll be back at Danpei's Shack next time, taking on some more challenges. Thank you very much for joining me, and I'll see you next time on our adventure through Koholint Island.